why is there a reluctance, and why is the IMF the last resort almost?
So the thing for Sri Lanka is, our problem is that we have, as I said, relatively low reserve coverage right now, but we also have substantial external liabilities that we have to meet, right? So through the rest of this year, we have about $3.6 billion worth of dollar debt that needs to be repaid. 2022, we have another $5 billion, and then between $4 and $5 billion per year for the next 5 or 6 years, right? So there's a significant amount of dollar outflow, dollar liabilities that need to be met, and our reserve levels are quite limited as well. So in most situations, a middle-income country, what they would do is they would reach out to global capital markets, raise capital to refinance the capital portion of the debt, and then bet on, right? So what happened to Sri Lanka is that in early 2020, we lost access to this global capital markets. We lost the ability to be able to refinance our debt. So what we really need right now is to regain that access to global capital markets. Now, for that, you need to signal confidence to investors, to lenders. And one way to achieve that is an IMF program. Now, with IMF programs, it's not the amount of money that is the significant or the material factor. Right? So if you look at the last program, it was $1.5 billion. And that's a small amount compared to Sri Lanka's total liabilities. So what's important, though, is that signaling factor. When a country is in a program with the IMF, it signals to global markets that, look, this country has got a plan in terms of making its debt viable. It's got a plan in terms of making its fiscal balances sustainable. And then that gives confidence to lenders who are willing to then lend to that country. And then that enables you to refinance your debt and get back on track.
If you like, from a politician's point of view, the downside of going to the IMF is that you can't be doing things that you'd like to do politically, where it doesn't make sense. For example, I don't know, if we were in an IMF program, how dimly the IMF would view an attempt by the Sri Lankan government to supply 590 plus sort of portable gyms